Good morning. I am really quickly coming to love these gatherings with you. Um, we're getting ready to hear another reflection today, another meditation. Today, we're going to hear from Manelis Tamayo Migret, who was born in Guantanamo, Cuba. She teaches literature and edits the magazine Luz at Holguin University. In 2013, she joined the Episcopal Church, and that is where she now teaches catechism and serves as diocesan secretary for Episcopal Church women in Cuba. Um, and she will be offering our meditation in just a moment after, of course, we join Gabby in prayer. So let's do that now.
Omnipotente Dios, cuyo bendito Hijo fue llevado por el Espíritu para ser tentado por Satanás, apresúrate a socorrer a los que somos atacados por múltiples tentaciones, y así, como tú conoces las flaquezas de cada uno de nosotros, haz que cada uno te halle poderoso para salvar. Por Jesucristo tu Hijo nuestro Señor, que vive y reina contigo, y el Espíritu Santo, un solo Dios, ahora y por siempre. Amén.
Amen. Now for Minelis's reflection. Bearing one another's burdens is what we're focusing on today. Sometimes saints walk by, but we don't notice them. Sometimes they give us a smile, but under overwhelming stress, we fail to see in them God's smile, a reassurance to us that God is always there, ready to take our burdens. Teresita is old and very thin. All the suffering she has endured in life has affected her mind. Almost every Sunday, she attends our Episcopal community in Holguin, Cuba. She never stays through the whole service, but before leaving, she asks for prayers for herself, her mother, and her brother. She always approaches me with a wide smile and asks me about my daughters and my husband, who is the minister. COVID-19 changed everyone's life. One of the most difficult times was the summer of 2020, when a quarantine was issued. Only one family member was allowed to leave the house and look for indispensable food items. But in the midst of the crisis, even those items were not available. For the first time, I was distressed by the prospect of not having anything to put on the table for my daughters. I don't really know how, but Teresita found out about our situation. At noon, on the day when I thought my prayers would go unanswered, she knocked on my door. There she was, with her angelic smile, carrying a large bowl full of rice. I couldn't hug or kiss her because of the danger of infection, but I tried to thank her with my eyes for that loving gesture which came from the poorest member of our community. She kept coming until we no longer needed her gift. Day after day, her hands carried a bowl of rice, and her eyes were filled with the love of God. The pandemic hit each of us hard and in different ways. And I think during that time, many of us experienced God in new and different ways and from different people. And Manelis describes this perfectly. This woman who it sounds like, I don't want to assume how she perceives someone else, but as someone who she could assist, who she could help, and then found herself in turn being helped by this woman. It reminds me that no matter who we are or where we are in life, we can always both be the recipient of someone's gift and be the giver of that gift. So there are times when we will be Christ for someone else, and times when we may unexpectedly, perhaps, need to receive Christ. need to see Christ coming in the hands or the hearts or the bodies of someone around us. And that we can never know when or how God is going to show up. Um, Manilis was scared. She was facing not being able to feed her family. And God showed up in an unexpected way. It's through one another that we bring God into the midst of our surroundings. And it's only through accepting that God may come to us through someone else that when we have to accept, it can be hard to accept help, right? And when we're in a position where we need to rely on someone else for food, that can be a challenge. And we might imagine, oh, I want to, say a prayer, and then that bowl of rice will just appear on my doorstep. But it takes being vulnerable. We have to be vulnerable with one another to receive a gift from someone who we are used to giving to. And when we can do that, then boundaries are broken open, relationships are transformed, and God appears in such great abundance. And that's what we're striving for. No matter where we are or who we are, we can always be open to God showing up in new and different ways and seeing an abundance from it. All right. That's a good stopping spot for today. So I will see you again tomorrow for our final meditation of the week before we get to our Saturday reflection questions. So I will see you